G'day, it's Nathaniel from Z Innovations, and today we're going to go through an install on a 2500 of the all-new Silverado Sierra screen upgrade. So now we'll go through the components. So over here at the start we've got redirectional vents, we've got the new shell. For this one we're doing a 13.1, so here's 13.1 screen. We've got our AV cables, we've got two USB cables. We've got receivers here. We've also got this, unlike the other one on the market. So here we've got a SIM card. We've got AUX outs and ins, as well as a subwoofer out. We're the only screen on the market that can do that. Your CAN bus coding box. For this one here, this is for a 8-inch plus screen. We also have an adapter coming for 7-inch screens. We've got our GPS antenna, our Wi-Fi cellular data antenna, and our factory integration harness. So going through that, the tools you'll need for this is a T20, a T15, a 7mm socket, a 10mm socket, a pair of pliers, trim tool, and that's it. So now we'll go to the installation process and we'll start stripping the car down. So the first step is to take off this cap. So this is on the same side for left-hand drive and right-hand drive vehicles. Inside there's a 7mm. So once that's done, we'll move the chair back. Now getting your hands behind the trim, pull out on the clips, and you'll work your way down. Once that panel is unclipped, remove it from the car. So next step on this side, obviously it'll be mirror imaged for left-hand drive. We're going to remove the glove box. So pull in, and then on the driver's side is an actuator. Pop that out and remove your glove box. So now we'll go around to the driver's side and do the same process. So driver or passenger for left-hand drive markets, again, pull out on the trim. Again, remove the trim. Okay, so the next step is to remove the center console. So just with a trim tool, pop up on either side and lift up. Now, under cars fitted with wireless charger, undo the clip there. With this one, use a pick tool, pull in, and remove. This is your key receiver. And then you can remove the center console. Okay, so the next step is to remove the lower trim. So with a trim tool, there we go. Pop the center and then work your way around. There we go. Whew. Okay, so next step we're going to remove the factory trim. Again, this one doesn't. And start working your way around. So now all the trims are removed, we'll start removing the screws. So down the bottom here we have two Torx 15. We've also got two Torx 15 in the center and two Torx 15 in the top. Once all the screws are out, make sure you put them somewhere safe. You'll get a trim tool, hold into the top of the screen, then pull out. And now we'll start removing all the plugs. So first one here for the screen. Your AC controls. Then your switch. USBs. Okay, next one over here, brake controller. Okay, so this customer's got a UHF, so we'll just unplug that. And then the last step is the cigarette lighter. These are quite fiddly to get out. Okay, so the factory shell's out now and we'll start transferring all the parts over to the new shell. Okay, so now we're going to transfer the factory components over to the new shell. So the first step is to remove the AC controls. So just push up on all the clips. And we'll just put that aside. The next step is to remove the switch panels. So with a Torx 20, 4 screws. Next step is we'll remove the brake controller. So again, lift up on the clips. Brake controller is removed. Next step, we'll remove the blank. Now this could also be a power point if your truck was fitted with the inverter. So we'll put that aside. Next step is to remove the USBs. So we've now removed the USBs. Okay, so the next step, with this one you've got 2 black tabs. So this is in 2 pieces. So by pushing up, press down on the black tab, and you've removed the cigarette lighter. You'll then flip this over, push in on the tabs, and remove that. Last step, the bottom 2 retainer clips. We'll remove these. So now we've transferred everything from the factory shell. You can now put this aside. Okay, so we'll first put on the retainer clips or trim clips. So once your clips are on, we'll put the brake controller in. It can only go one way. So push down until it clips in. The next one we'll put in is the blank. So you'll see a groove there. Push down, it's clipped in. The next step is to put in the cigarette lighter. Push that down. Next step, USBs. Again, there's a groove there, only one way. Clip all that in. So we'll flip this back over again. And we'll put in the toggles. So using the factory screws, screw that in. So with the AC controls, if your car was fitted with the factory heated and cooled seats or heated seats, you'll see two clips here that we're put in for cars not or trucks not fitted with it. So we're just going to have to remove those now. So with a pair of nips or a Stanley knife, break away that section, or you could use a Dremel. So now clipping this in, the AC controls, slide down, all clipped in, and there you go. So now we'll install the AC redirection vents. So placing, if you're standing over the back of the unit, right hand side first, then left. With a Phillips head, we've supplied screws for you. Starting in the middle. So the last step before we start doing the wiring is you'll get two foam strips supplied in your box. So feed them around the outside of your AC redirection vents. Once the foam's on, you've got two more screws to install, the last two. So inside the AC vent, you'll see a hole. And just quickly, in regards to our AC vents, there is no cutting of the factory dash whatsoever. You can see here we've checked out around the factory mouldings, so there's no trimming involved. So we'll now jump into the car and we'll start removing the glove box. First thing we'll remove is the cover panel to the fuse box. So here you'll see a Torx 15, Torx 15, Torx 15, and then you'll have 5 7mm nuts that you'll need to remove. So we'll just open this up. We'll now remove the 7mm. So now unclip the panel and remove it. Okay, so first step, behind this trim, we're going to feed through our dual USB. And we're just going to leave that up like that. We now have a single USB. This plug here plugs into our factory I'm looking in our factory video. We've now got our SIM card. So we'll now feed the SIM card through. Feed that right there. So for our 4G antenna, cellular antenna, do not put it anywhere near the unit. It will cause disturbance. So we're going to feed it through here again, and up behind here is a flat section going upwards. So we're going to remove the double-sided tape now and stick that up. Just like that. We'll feed that through. The next step is the GPS antenna. So for this one, we're just going to run the cables, and further down, we're actually going to remove the A-pillar trim. So we're just going to sit that up there. We're going to feed that through. And then that's going to come through up here as well. Okay. Next step is to plug into our AUX. So plugging into the AUX, the cable will then run under the center console and plug into audio out, red with red. White with white. Okay, so this customer's getting an aftermarket Safety Dave camera for their caravan or RV. So we're going to feed through that and we're going to plug it into the CVSB1 and then we're going to tape that up. So on your truck, locate your HMI unit. It should be behind the glove box. It can possibly be on the other side. So in there, you'll find a black and grey plug. We'll need to remove that from the HMI unit. What we'll do is we'll feed through these cables. Just have them there. So you'll be able to see through here in the back. So you can remove your felt trim. And we'll just go through now and unplug these. So you'll have to get your head underneath. There'll be 2 retainer clips. Once you pull the clips, compress and pull the plugs out. So you'll see here a black and grey plug. So we'll now plug the harness in. They can only go in one way. So you can see here we've plugged that now into the adapter and we'll now plug that back into the car. Again, they can only go in one way. So now that those are plugged in, we've got all the cables up here. 2500s will be a little bit more difficult than a 1500. There's a few more cables down there. So going on to the main harness, you'll see your CAN bus box. Plug that in and we'll set that up there. Coming off your RCA cable, you'll see another adapter there. So just with when you're plugging all your RCAs in, we'll just make sure to tape them up. So I'll go get some tape. So now that all the cables are run, we're going to reinstate the glove box shell. We'll run that through to here. So with this, what we'll do, our USBs and SIM card, we'll put through the back there. Feed through the cables, lift it up into position and clip it all in. Now we'll reinstall the screws. Just this one for now, as that will be behind the shell. And now we'll start putting the screen in. So now we're going to install the shell. So the first step is we're going to clip into the bottom. So you'll see a clip there. So we've clipped that in the bottom. We're actually going to move this up, out of the way for now. and all the plugs for the screen. And then we're going to start reinstating the plugs. So we'll put grey in the middle, and then we're going to work through here. They only fit in one plug each. Make sure to clip them in. And the centre plug. So that is all your factory plugs now installed. We're just going to feed this through. Oh, and the trailer plug. So we now have all the leads that are going into the head unit. Oh, we're actually going to remove this one as well. So just with this one, you would normally double-sided tape it. But we'll cable tie that after because the customer's got something on top of it. Once you've worked the bottom, get your hands up top and push down on the vents. Just make sure all your cables are out of the way. Push down on the vents, behind. You'll hear it clip in. So when putting it in, you'll just need to get your fingers and push down on the vents. Now we'll put the Torx 15s in. So the next step is we'll now attach all the wires to the screen. So first one's our video. Off the main harness, that's touch control. This one here, GPS, into the bottom one. Next one, our 4G antenna. Next one, our USB. And then we'll do our dual USB. So then the next one is this cable here. This is for the interface. Make sure they're lined up. They will go both ways. Next step is our power cable. Plug that into there. And lastly, our SIM card. We'll just move all those out of the way, come in underneath. If you need to, get a bit more slack from it. Okay, CAN bus box will slide into there. This is the one factory plug that we do not use, so if you're wondering where do I put this, it doesn't go anywhere. We also need to plug this one in, and that just gets fed through. What you'll also see here is we've got a screw hole allocated and a section here allocated. So this will allow down the track to be able to tie this screen in further to the shell for off-road use. So what we'll do is we'll just clip this in for now. Okay, so now everything's installed. You'll then slide the screen in. You'll hear it a clip and it will lock into place. And now the screen's installed. Okay, so now we'll start reinstalling everything. So the first step is the bottom trim. There you go. So clip in. Next step, your wireless charger center console. So again, reinstate, clip in, make sure to lock all your tabs. Next one's in. So once that's in, we'll actually go back now and reinstall the screws on this. Back in underneath. We'll get the glove box. So clipping over, and then what we're going to do push in either side. We've now clipped that in. There's a pump on the side, then clip that into position, and that's closed. Okay, so next step, so you pop the two caps off, then with a 10mm socket, loosen this off. Now you can fit it under the dash there, but you will not get as good reception. So half the interior is already apart, so it's not that much more work to remove this panel. There we go. So once that panel's removed, we'll have enough slack. We can bring our GPS antenna cable through there. Some more slack. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll get our picker or knife. We'll take off the double-sided tape. Feed that through there. We'll just put our GPS antenna there. So now we'll reinstall our 10mm bolts. 2. We can now reinstate our fuse panel. And we'll now do our side panels. So bringing that in, bring it down. So you'll see on either side there is a clip. So slide through, reinstate the clips. On this side, don't forget the 7mm screw. Again, bring it over. You'll see this clip here. So the trim actually goes behind that. Hold on. Okay, so now that the screen's installed, we're just going to go through a few settings when you first get the unit. So first thing we are going to do is go to settings. And we're going to go to factory, the code is 3368. And then we're going to go down to Local car radar switch, we're going to turn that off. So this here car model. So the way we've got it set up is it's a default setup to left-hand drive. So for Australia, we just press that and we're now at right-hand drive. So if you're in America, you don't need to touch it. Okay, so we're now going to go back into settings. You can chop all this, can't you?
Yep.
So we're going to go into original car agreement. And we're going to turn off AC display and door display. So that's all done. We're then going to go into vehicle settings. So we're going to press on that and then we're going to go panel selection. So you'll need to find the panel that was originally on your car. Once that's done, okay, press back. So we'll just double check, that's all done. Okay, so the unit's all now set up for you. So just a few things. So we'll click on the app button. We do have some new layouts coming out shortly. You can press on car UI. So this is the factory system, as you can see here. Full factory screen there. If you've got wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, it's all there for you. So we'll just press back. So also for left-hand drive, this panel will be on the driver's side. What we have here too, this customer doesn't want that, he wants to use his factory system, but click on this and you'll search your device and this will connect for wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So quite straightforward, that one. Once you get your Bluetooth, you've got your Play Store, sign up with your Google account and you can start downloading apps. If you use this will accept Wi-Fi, but it will not work if you're using this app with your phone. You also have an allocation in right here that we fed to the glove box for a SIM card, that's for 4G. So we'll go into here, you can see this. All the camera system works. All the camera system works. We can go through it all. Everything's working. Just like that. Put it back in park. We can go through our trailering apps. You can see here, he hasn't got anything there yet, this customer. We can also go into settings. All the settings that were originally on your system are all here. So the way we've done this display is we've stretched it out to an 11-inch display. We didn't want to go any higher as it would distort with aspect ratio. So we've gone more for a quality picture than a large picture. So thanks for watching the video, and if you've purchased a screen from us, thank you for your support. Being a Silverado owner myself in Australia, I designed this as a Silverado owner for Silverado owners. We looked at the market, we worked out what we wanted from our product, what people in Australia wanted from their product, and we designed the system around that. It wasn't a copy and paste thing. We've also designed in there for more reinforcements. This will be fine for off-road use once that clip arrives, and it's quite easy to put it on after the fact. So again, this was designed by a Silverado owner for Silverado and GMCs in Australia with my suppliers overseas. We've gone for an OEM look and we hope you like it. We hope that the video's been helpful for you. If you have any questions, drop a line in the comments below or send an email on our website and we'll be happy to answer them. Thanks.